And I really just kind of want us to start thinking about our network as a system. So, the first thing that I want us to think is let's go back in time for a minute to 2010. And in 2010, we were watching My Name is Earl. So, in 2010, we were watching My Name is Earl. This new show was just starting to come out called The Walking Dead. We were shopping at Kmart and Radio Shack. We watched the final chapter of Shrek, and we sent Andy off to college in Toy Story, and the network recognized 12 schools for implementing school-wide PBIS. So obviously, the network has grown over time. You can see we went from our 12 schools in 2009-10 to the year 2019-20 when we recognized just over 500 schools. Along with the network, we've grown with facilitators. As Tina mentioned, we're seeing now over 200 facilitators. Everybody kind of is using data. We are using data at different levels, and we have different levels of systems. And within our net, we have the individual student, we have the classroom, we have the school-wide system, we have the district system, we have the community system, which is your IU, your local network. We have our state network, and we have our national network that we are a part of. With that comes different levels of data. At the individual student level, we might be using the universal screener and the ODR referrals. At the district level, you're looking at more school-wide data, climate survey, annual data. We also use data as well at the state level. We're looking at school-wide data. We're looking at outcome measures. We are looking at the community mental health providers that play a part. The national level uses data as well. And that translates into policy decisions, different leadership decisions, driving resources, professional development planning at the national level, all the way down to individual intervention planning for the student. So we use data in a lot of different ways, and it doesn't just stop there within the network. We also get requests for research, for collaboration with other networks, with our family engagement partners like Hune and Peel. We're working with some of our higher ed partners like Dr. Runge and Dr. McDowell. We also get some legislative requests every once in a while, more looking at are any schools within a region implementing that type of thing. And of course, we have our program evaluation that we look at. All of these things are things that we need to manage. It's data heavy, and we need to come up with a way to look at our data. And we have two data systems that we use in Pennsylvania. We have PBIS assessments. PBIS assessments is where we go to get our measures. It's part of PBIS apps coming out of University of Oregon. They really look to bridge that gap between research and practice. And you can see there, they develop PBIS, sustaining PBIS effort, looking at the different supports, the practices, and they influence some of the national resources PBIS assessment provides access to the tools. And I think that's a really important piece because, for instance, I at the state level cannot get into PBIS assessments to see all of the information from all of the different schools. PBIS provides access. Likewise, we have ptrack, where PBIS assessments is that national piece. ptrack is our Pennsylvania piece. It's owned by us, it's managed by us, and we are able to manipulate it to get the results that we need. Obviously, our data drives our sustaining PBIS efforts, and data from ptrack informs not only the state level, but also contributes to some of that national level resources as well. And it's also important to remember that the network is our community of practice, is a part of the community of practice. And we have other organizations across Pennsylvania that they consider our data when looking at practices and resources and those type of things that they can do. And really, why do we need ptrack? ptrack is our data collection system. And within Pennsylvania, we use data, like I shared, in many different ways. And so data informs the next level up. So for instance, the data from the individual student impacts our classroom data, practices, and resources. Likewise, our classroom data informs our school-wide. And while the data informs going up, the resources and the support that are developed based on that data trickles back down. So that's why some of our data collection is important for us. Thinking about ptrack, how can we support and kind of keep that ball rolling? And I know that ptrack is, some people love ptrack, other people hate it. So how can we support you? Logging in, the district coach now has a login, and you will see the district coach is actually listed as the district coach, who their facilitator is. So that's the landing page when the district coach logs in. The district coach, this is what their page looks like. So they have the district documents and then the listing of schools within their district. Once they click on the individual building, they have access to the staff data, to the annual data, and to their document. What does that look like for the local facilitator now? We send a lot of information out through ptrack blasts, so that's why it's important to have that staff list updated. Jeremy, you can see he logs in, he's the local facilitator, he's got his IU there, it opens up all of his districts show, he selects his district, and he lands on the district page as well. So here's the district page and the document. He goes to his buildings and he has the full access. The district coach on the building data only has staff data, annual data, documents. The local facilitator is going to have the added assessments and recognition. We talked very briefly about the applying for recognition. This is the dropdown that's going to look like. So you're going to have tier 1 initial, tier 1 sustaining, tiers 1, 2, tiers 1, 2, 3, and then the participant level.